Loving God, we thank you that we can come again to study your words and to learn how to serve you. I pray that you will give us the wisdom and understanding. Help us that we can be a good witness to the people and to bring them salvation. We thank you for your love and for everything. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay. Now, I believe we are somewhere in chapter 7. Let's see. Okay. Chapter 7. You remember last time Noah in the big boat and all the animal came to him. After about 5 months, and God now tell Noah that it's time, you can go out now. And in fact, the flood, the water come up and the rain without stopping is just about a month or something. But after that, the water stay in that for many more months. And the Bible says that all things that breathe to the north and all the birds die because there is nowhere they can survive in that big flood everywhere. So after so many months, almost a year, now from the beginning of the rain until now, it's almost a year now. And God tell Noah, it's time. The land is clean now, the water gone, and the land is already dry. You can go out now. And you remember that God is the one who closed the ark, and He is the one who opened it. So it just to remind us that it's God who in control. And like Jesus said that when I open the door, nobody can close it. When I close it, nobody can open it. It's from God. It's not us. So is it now the time that God opened the door of salvation? We have to do it. We need to do our best before it closes down, and we cannot open it anymore. And I think 7, we already finished this. Do we talk about the two clean animals in pair, and I mean two of all the not clean, but the clean one, God says 7 of them. And here we say that everything died. I think we just repeat a little bit of chapter 7. And now let's go back to chapter 8. Now then God remembered Noah again, or the living thing in the ark. And God said that, well, somebody might say that why God remember, it means that God forget about them. It's not mean that way. This is the way the old Hebrew always say that when I remember you, it doesn't mean that I forget about you, but it just means that it's time that I'm going to talk with you. It's time that I'm going to spend time with you, or I'm going to come to you in that sense. So when the Bible says God remember Noah, it doesn't mean that God forget about him or his situation at all. It just now is time that God going to come to him and spend time with him or to help him in some way. The Bible says that God sent a big wind to blow all the water, and all the fountain, all the water that come up from the ground will shut off and go back. You remember that the Bible says that in the first early time of the world, there's no rain, but the water come out from the ground to water all the plant. And this is how the water come up. And now it go back. And we know that it still happen today. Like you know that they have 2 times a day the high tide. And 2 times a day there's the low tide. So it's about 12 hours each of this high tide, low tide, the cycle go that way. So this it might be something that it happened even in the time of Noah, and it still happen today. Or the wind, the storm stop, and now Noah starts seeing that the top of the mountain show up now. And Noah still waiting for to make sure that all the rain is clean. Then you see that the rain stop, the water not come up, the water go down, but the land is still not clean. Why? Because all the dead body might still there, and all is still not safe for them. So God put them in the boat, in the ark, and let them wait. And Noah opened the window of the ark that he made. So this is not the big door. God closed the big door, but there's some small window that Noah can look out. And he looked out that the land get dry, and he starts seeing some plant going up. Now, the first bird that Noah sent out, the raven, is just like a cow, the crow, I mean, the black bird. And the Bible says that the raven keep flying back and forth, and did not come back. The question is why? The crow never come back. Well, we have a lot of guessing, but some theories say that the crow or the raven is the bird that eat dead body. So this is the heaven now, because the birds see that a lot of dead body is still there. So the birds just enjoy eating and never come back to Noah. And they can survive by eating all the dead body day long. Now Noah wait, and the bird never come back. So Noah sent a dove. The raven is a dirty bird, not clean, but the dove is clean. Now Noah sent the dove out, she returned. Why? Well, somebody say that because the dove see all the dead body, no rain and no green tree or leaf. The dove cannot survive and cannot live that way like the raven. So the dove come back to Noah. So Noah know that this is not a clean place. The clean bird cannot survive out there. So it come back to Noah. And Noah wait again another 7 days, and then send the dove out again. This time, the dove come back with olive leaf. Well, somebody say that how the olive leaf come up so fast. Well, we who live in the Western world, we know that when spring comes, it's almost overnight. From the dead branches, now you see flower, you see new leaf come up almost overnight. It's the same way. A lot of trees that go to sleep in wintertime, but the day the spring come up, it just pop up, all the leaf, all the flower, almost overnight. And this is the same thing. The dove went out this time, come up with the olive leaf. And now I know that it's clean now, it's safe now. And now I send the bird out again. And this time, the dove never come back. Well, this dove go out 3 times, come back 2 times, and the 3rd time, he don't come back. This means that he already find a place to stay and safe now. So it done the job. Somebody say that the dove should come back the 3rd time. Well, we just guess that way. But it might be a sign from God to let Noah know that it's safe now. The bird can survive. It's a clean bird can survive there. So all the animal, all the human can survive there too. Now, the first day of the month of the first month of the first year, 601st year, mean that when Noah get into the ark, he is 600. Now 1 year passed. The whole years that they lived in that ark, in the flood. And God commanded Noah, go out and bring all the animal out with you and multiply to fill up the whole world again. A lot of people will ask the question that why, when God intend for the land to be filled up with animal and humankind, why God destroy them? Well, the whole purpose of cleaning up the bad thing and let the good thing multiply. It's always the same thing that why we grow something. Well, we get rid of the weed or the thing that's not useful, and then we multiply the thing that's good and useful, and that's the same thing. And for God to make the land fruitful with good things. Now, verse 20 talk about Noah built an ark. No, not the ark, an altar for God, and used all the clean animal to sacrifice for God. And a lot of people always say that, who teach them? Well, if you go back to the time of Adam and Eve, they already know about this. So we believe that God already told them, or the angel already helped them understand what they're supposed to do. So this it have been passed on to Noah's time. And a lot of people say all these things that they have done is before Moses' time. Thousands of years before Moses' time. But in Moses' time, you will see God told Moses to record all these things at the guideline. So the next generation will know exactly what to do. But before Moses' time, it's just the words of mouth. One generation teach another generation what they're supposed to do, to sacrifice, what they should do or should not do. And we believe God will teach them. And then they pass on the knowledge. And they even know that what is clean animal and not clean animal. You know that the Israelites, we forget all these things until Moses record everything for them, that thousands of years later. And another thing here in the chapter, in verse 21, 22, God make a covenant with mankind. So this is, the word covenant is not just like agreement. Agreement is mean that both sides equally agree on something, that we're going to do something or not doing something. And both have to keep their promises. But the covenant is one side. It means that like God or the king make with the people, we call a covenant. It means the promise that cannot be broken. And it starts with one side, like God start the covenant with mankind. It's not because man is good, but God himself wants to help mankind. And he by himself, by his promises. So this is, we call the covenant. God said what? I will never send frost to kill all mankind again. And rainbow will be a symbol of this covenant forever. As long as you see the rainbow, you know that God keep these promises for all of them. So we see the rainbow all the time after the rain. And Noah gave the sacrifice of animal to God. And God promised He will never curse man this way again, and will give them the world with season, mean that there's rain will come and they will have plenty of food to eat. It doesn't mean that God believe that man will never fail again. No, it's not the case. But it just means that God will give man a chance, even we fail. So God promised that they will have winter and summer. They will have time of planting and harvesting regularly. Now today we might doubt about what God promised, that the season will overcome the rain and all the things that will be exactly. But today we worry about global warming and about all the bad things that the industry do to environment. And we worry that we might never have enough rain, we might never have enough winter, and the world going to be really in the serious disaster because we destroy everything that God have planned for us. Well, possibility, but God's still in control. Man did a lot of bad things to environment, to nature that God made. Okay, this is the general idea about chapter 8. Okay, I will stop here a little bit for your reflection or question after chapter 8. You have any question on chapter 7, chapter 8 so far?
This is no rainbow before the flood.
That's a good question. I already mentioned that before the flood, there is no rain.
Yeah, but still the air can have a mist of the water. You know, like when we spray the water hose and when the sunlight hit, it creates a rainbow.
Yes, but you see, the Bible says that the water never spring up. The water come up to water the plant and never come up high, never get flood.
What God say about lesbian and using rainbow as the symbol? How's that? Is that anything that God said about that?
Well, in chapter 8, God already said that it's a covenant. A covenant is the agreement that I will never destroy humankind again with flood. And rainbow is the symbol of this promise. So as long as we see the rainbow, God say, I will remember my covenant with mankind. So that's what the Bible says.
Nothing about what God meant good, meant bad. Because now the lesbian and gay people use a rainbow as their symbol.
Well, I don't know why they pick up a rainbow symbol. Maybe to represent a lot of color or a lot of different lifestyle, maybe.
I have one question about chapter 8, verse 20.
Okay.
Verse 20 is that then Noah built an altar to the Lord and took off everything clean, what's that, animal? And then every clean bird. That's Noah built the altar. Is that do we still doing that, building the altar in this day or only the day on the New Old Testament?
To be short first, we don't do it anymore. Since Jesus' death and resurrection, Jesus said that I am fulfill all the requirement, no need anymore. And you go back to the time of Moses, why the people need to offer animal for the sin. The animal died for man. So man will not die because the animal died for us. And God said this is like the temporary. It's just for the symbol that God forgive them. It's not because animal can die for man, but it's just a symbol that God accept it for that time. And we're waiting for the permanent substitution, mean that you see sin have to be paid off, but who pay? It's like we have debt, it have to pay off. Who pay? We or someone pay for us. So in the past, God allowed animal to be substitute for us as a symbol. Why? Because we're waiting for the real thing that coming. The book of Hebrew will tell us that all this animal is just substitute for a short time as a symbol of believing. And we're waiting for Jesus. Jesus is going to be the real sacrifice that paid the price for all man's sin. After Jesus died on the cross, no need for animal anymore. This is why God sent the Roman to destroy the temple. And the Jews in AD 70, that means almost 2,000 years ago. And for 2,000 years, the Jews tried to rebuild that temple, but God never allowed it. Why? Because they want to sacrifice animal again. And the Bible says, don't need anymore. You remember when Jesus died, the curtain in the temple of Thai-Lao. You see that the temple have section, holy place and holy of holy. Each one have a big thick curtain blocking people from entering it. And when Jesus died, God tear all those curtains away. Now we can go straight to God because Jesus paid the price of sin. Nothing block us from God anymore. So we don't need animal sacrifice anymore. But do you believe that even today the Jews still try to rebuild the temple? To do what? Sacrifice animal again.
Okay. So the altar, the word is there, building the altar. That altar is the place for sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I've been, looking on that on the past for the like Abraham, Moses, they build that altar to sacrifice. Then the Lord blessed them. So I thought maybe we can do it right now. Maybe we can get more blessing or thing like that.
Well, you see, the altar have two different purposes. The first purpose is to sacrifice animal for their sin.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, they can sacrifice animal for the well-being or the blessing. So you cannot get the blessing before the sin offering. So the people have to do several sacrifice. The first one is for the sin. And then the second, the third is for blessing. And some people think that I can bring offering to God so God will bless me. No, you need to offer the sin offering first.
When they refer to the Lord, sometimes it's said God, sometimes it's said Lord. Is it Lord refer to Jesus? God refer to the Father?
Let's see. The Lord is the English verse. It starts with the King James Bible, use the word the Lord. And in fact, in the Hebrew Hebrew Bible, wherever the King James called the Lord, the Hebrew Bible called Yahweh.
Oh, Yahweh,
Yahweh.
which is the Father.
And beside the word Yahweh, the Hebrew Bible also used many other words for God, like Adonai, El Shaddai, all those things. It's just the symbol of God, God of the mountain, God the highest, God is just the position they give to God. So if they translate all the words from Hebrew, modern day Bible will use the word Yahweh instead of the Lord a lot of time.
John, this is true that Jesus never called
God except the Father. Only one time on the cross.
Well, a few times Jesus mentioned God at Yahweh or some position when he teach the people. But personally, he always called the Father.
what I mean. When he talked to God, he always called the Father.
Father, not as a God.
Well, that I think he want to show his relationship of the Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. But the regular people cannot call God the Father. This is why the Jew got so angry when he heard Jesus call God the Father.
John, earlier, I think Carl mentioned about the altar to us for the New Testament,
Yes,
our
Lord.
body be a living sacrifice. So it's similar to that, right?
Cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night.
Yes,
Will
you
never
see,
cease.
when Paul mentioned in Romans chapter 12, Paul told us, believer, to give our life as a living sacrifice. We not need to die. You see that God wants us, because Jesus died for us, but God wants us to be a living sacrifice, mean that our body have to be holy for God and living for God every day and working, serving Him. That's what God wants from us, not a dead believer, but a living believer. New life, serving God, and share the good news that what God wants from us. Okay, let's go back to chapter 9 now. Now God blessed Noah and his son, and God said that you multiply and be fruitful, and take care of all the animals that I created in this world, in the air, on the land, in the sea, in the ocean. And now here, important part. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I have given you all things, even as the green herb, but you shall not eat the flesh with its life. That's it, its blood. And this is the first time God officially allowed man to eat animal. Before that, God never allowed. But if you ask me that did man eat animal before this? Yes. We have seen many situations, possibility, but God never approved until now. And the good question is, why now? Why now, not before? A lot of theologians have theory. First, they believe that now there will be a lot of animal and man compete one another for the plant. And the plant might not be enough for animal and man to eat.
Thing that live and move
That's one reason. So
Wow.
God allow
Yep.
man to eat animals. So it try to control the number of animals.
food for you.
So to balance everything, the plant will have enough plant for the animal and for man, because man will eat animal too, some animal. And the question go on that
With the
in the
meat.
past, even tiger, lion don't eat meat. They eat vegetable and fruit too.
sky and
And now this is time for them to learn how to eat fresh. True.
all the fish in the sea.
How could we know? Because
Into-
in the book of Revelation,
Everything
chapter 21, 22 will tell us that we will go back to the time of Garden of Eden again.
for
The
food.
book of Isaiah also said the same thing, that tiger, lion will go back to eat grass,
Yes, give you
and-
the good plant.
vegetable again. And we will don't need to eat anything, but if we want to eat, we can eat
Right now,
fruit
give you everything,
again.
but you must
But
not
other animal will not eat one
have-
another again. That
have
is the book
food
of
steal in it.
Revelation and the book of Isaiah will go back that all animals become friend again. So this is some change that going on here now. We will start eating animal, and this is for the time being that God allow us. And another thing that God give to mankind after the flood here, God said that the fear of you and the breath of you shall be on every beast of the earth. Mean that God put the fear in animal. Animal will fear humankind. They will run away from us as long as they can run. But when they have no choice, they will fight to survive. But all animals, they smell the smell of humankind, they will run away first. They don't want to face us. So this is the fear that God put in all animals. But some people say some animal hunt man. Well, whenever animal hunt man, we know that there's some spirit haunting the animal. Or sometimes we call the animal go crazy, because this is not their nature or not their instinct. By instinct or by nature, all animal, big and small, will run away from mankind, because God put that fear in them all. But sometimes bad spirit haunt or possess the animal body. It change it. Or the animal go crazy by itself may be possible. So this is not normal. And here the first time we heard what God say, the flesh is okay, but never eat blood. And we always wonder that why God not allow us to eat blood. The Bible in time of Moses will mention something that because blood is the life of animal. But if the animal already dead, why we still cannot eat it? Well, later on they say that the blood of the animal will be used to sacrifice in the future for man's sin. So the price of the lives of animal is the blood, and the blood have been used to cleanse the sin of man. So that is what we understand later on. But today you ask a lot of scientists why they don't eat blood. In fact, later on, a lot of culture will eat blood and flesh. So they always have question why God don't allow it. The Bible say lies in the blood. Blood is the life. Well, you look in scientific way, all our disease in our blood too. It might be surprised that if they check our blood, they can tell that what kind of disease we ever have since we are a young boy, a young girl until now. Everything is still in your blood. It lives in there. All kind of disease that you ever have in your life. Why you not get sick now? Because it's under control. It means that your body learned how to control all those disease in your blood. And do you believe that, like, if you're getting older, you get chingo, and you say, what is chingo? Where it come from? Well, in fact, chingo is something you got when you're young. It's just all the disease for children that we get sick. It's just chicken pox that we get sick when we're young, and we get well, but the chicken pox virus is always in our blood, and our body control that. It cannot hurt us. When we get bad, when we old, we get weak, all those disease in our blood come out and try to make us sick again. So you might be surprised at how that guy gets sick. He never go anywhere, never meet anyone. All the disease already inside us. It's just waiting for time. It's like the time bomb. It will explode one day. So this is why all you 50 years old need to get 2 vaccines of Chingo to protect yourself from all those diseases that already inside us and waiting to come out to hurt us. And many more disease that we already got in our inside us. So blood is a lot of things, though. Now some people say if we cook the blood, well, maybe you kill some disease, but not all. It's still dangerous. Now people say, how about you donate blood and people get your blood? You might be surprised that when you donate your blood, a lot of disease you donate too. And the people who get your blood might get sick with all kind of disease that you share with them. Nowadays, they might check a few kind of disease when you donate your blood because it is serious. It can kill the people who get your blood, but they cannot screen all because it takes forever and people need your blood. They might take a chance to get sick from your disease that you already got in your blood. The blood still can save a lot of people. Some very strict Christians will say that they will never donate blood and never accept blood from anyone. Why? Because they believe that this is eating blood. When you share blood, it means that you eat another person's blood too. This is what they believe. So if that's the case, you can donate your own blood and save it when you need to have surgery. So you get your own blood, not other people. So you might get allowed that you never eat other people's blood, but you eat your own blood. So this is what they believe. So God remind Noah, don't eat any blood. Just let it spill out because God wants them back. And this is what the command. And anyone kill another one, God will demand justice for them. And then you see in the chapter, the verse, be fruitful and multiply will repeat itself so many times because God wants the 8 people that survive to multiply and to fill up the whole world. That's a big job. Only 8 people to fill up the whole world. You ever not calculate that if you have 8 people and you have a big piece of land, how many years you need to multiply in order to fill up that land? Well, in regular situation, it might take a long time. And in the old day, for example, allow 100 years ago, 200 years ago, up to 50-60% of the baby that born will die before they reach 1 year old. Even 50 years ago, 100 years ago. So very few baby will survive until they're 20. Most of them die before 20. So the number of people never multiply much because all have disease, all kind of death is always there. So in order to survive that and have more people, they need to have a lot of children and healthy ones. Today, you might heard the news about China. Today, the China so worried about their population, not too many, but less than what they want. You know that 50 years ago, the China start the policy that only one child per family. And they're very strict on that. Anyone who have more than one, they need to get abortion or kill their baby because they think that they have too many people. But 50 years after that, they feel sorry because now China, the new generation, don't get married and don't want children. Now the population shrinking, and the ones who survive are old, and they cannot work. And now who's going to take care of those old people? The whole nation is old. No baby, no new birth. And now they try to change the people's mind that now we want you to have a lot of baby again. It might be too late. It might take 20 or 50 more years before the new generation will start having baby again. So we will never have too many baby as long as they are healthy. It's always good. And God bless that, multiply and have more. And here God will remind them again about the covenant that God going to bless them and bless them and make them safe. And God said, flood will never come to destroy the whole world again. But people say we still have flood from time to time, but it's not that big that destroy the whole world in Noah's time. It never happened again. But we still have a little one from here, from there all the time. And here going to remind again, the rainbow going to be the covenant, the symbol that God will always see and give us to remind us about the covenant that we have with God. And now talk about Noah after the flood, what he do. He become a farmer. And 3 sons, what happened? Noah get drunk. He grow grape and he drink. We don't know that before the flood, Noah ever drink alcohol or not. We have no idea. But here he got drunk. And then he uncovered, mean that sleep naked in the tent. And now all the children come and see. And the youngest son, Ham, the father of Canaan. Now you have to remember the name of the son is Ham, and the grandson is Canaan. But later on, Noah will curse Canaan, not Ham. And now the question is, just to see his father naked, is that bad or that serious? Well, the Jew will have answered that Noah cursed his son because the son make fun of him, don't respect him. That the Jew with understanding. But you know that some Christian scholars say that Ham is not just joking around or make fun of his dad. He have sexual relationship with his dad. Why? Because Noah got so mad. And the practice like that is all around, even before Noah's time. And after that, someone talk about homosexual, or the relationship between father and son, or mother and daughter, mother and son. Later on, people will do everything that God do not approve. And this is something that the theory, though we don't know exactly, but Noah feel that this is serious. Because the Bible mentioned that when Noah know what his son did to him, and that verse make it serious, what his son did to him. Just joking around or talking bad about him is not enough to curse his son to many generations to come. So we believe the theory that possibly Ham did to his dad more than just joking around. And some theory believe that he have sex with Noah. And we don't know. Everything is a theory. You know that the Hebrew word see the nakedness later on in time of Moses, it means that sexual relationship. Like to know her or to see her nakedness. This is the symbol of Hebrew, mean that to have sex. Even in Hebrew Bible or Hebrew or Jewish culture, they don't use the word have sex. They say that see the nakedness or know her. And this is all the symbol about to having sex with that person. So to be fair, the Bible here clearly is talking about here. Possible, very likely. Now you see that in verse 24 to 7, why Noah cursed Canaan instead of Ham? So some people might say that maybe both dad and son do the same thing. Mean that Ham saw and Canaan is the one who really have sex with grandpa. And dad saw and tell everyone. So it might be they all work together about all these things. And the curse go on. But later on, people try to say that who are Canaan descendants? Who are Ham descendants that got cursed? Well, today we saw that we don't know. Because all the children intermarriage one another. So they mix together. And how can you tell which one is which? Because they all mixed, they all get married, intermarriage about that three brothers who have children later on. And they are cousins. So we don't know exactly who. You might just say that, well, genetic can tell how many percentage of you come from Canaan, how many percentage of you come from Shem or from Japheth. We don't know. We all mix up with something. You cannot specifically say that one group of people is directly from Canaan. We cannot say that. But theologian and many times in the history, in the past, we always assign some group of people, like a lot of time they assign the black people or African people are Canaan descendants, but no proof. We don't know. And as I say that, we all mix up with so many things, and we all have Ham, Japheth, or Ham in us. But we just know that Noah cursed that youngest son to be the servant. And some people say that it also means slave. Well, servant and slave in the old days almost the same thing. Because they do the same job, and a lot of time they have the same right, mean that they can pay back the debt and be free. So we cannot tell much difference between servant and slave in the old Jewish culture. It's almost the same thing. So Noah lived 300 more years after the flood and have more children. So you see that it's not just that Noah have 3 sons, but after that, after the flood, we believe that he might have many more. So he lived to 950 years and then he died. Okay, this is chapter 8 or chapter 9 already. Okay, you have question on chapter 9?
And one question. To after Noah say only 6 people are fertilizing the word, right? The word. So I said after Noah have a kid, 3 kids, and he have no more kid after that, right?
Yes.
Doesn't he have some more kid after that? Talking about Noah after the flood.
You see that by what the Bible says that everyone come from this family.
Yeah.
I know I have 3 children before the flood.
Uh-huh.
But as I say, possibly Noah lived 3 more hundred years. He might have more kids after that.
But the Bible didn't mention it, right?
Yeah.
That's those 3.
The Bible did not mention a lot of things. But we don't know if you want to strict with the Bible, you just accept that we all come from that 3 sons.
Yeah. And the other thing is Cain's descendants. Can any one of those women be Cain's descendants?
Yes. You see that if there are only 8 people in the ark,
Right.
everyone who marry one another is just their brother, sister, cousin, auntie, or anything. And that is very normal in those days. Even today, in many cultures, they still marry inside their own family. And especially in some rich family, they don't want their money to get to outside their family, so they marry inside their own family to keep their money. But
Yeah, because
today, we know that in order to marry someone so close to you, it can be good and bad in the same time.
I'm saying, well, the reason I asked that because if God cursed Cain, if anybody sees Cain descendant and kill them, and God will kill them, God will kill them 7 times. And but I wonder maybe one of those women that Noah's son Mary was one of Cain's descendants. Yeah, otherwise Cain's descendants wipe out during the flood, right?
Now, you see that the chance of their children or grandchildren intermarriage is very high because they just realize, and believe me that we intermarriage and we all have a little bit of everything. Oh, Nathan go somewhere.
No, he's here. He's sitting and the Lamar is too playful, so he just say hi. He's here.
Oh, okay.
He's listening.
John, I have another question regarding to the Canaan. The Canaan is the Canaanite that live in Canaan, same or that different?
We cannot say exactly, but possibly they are also descendants of Canaan. But you see that it's spread all over the world. After another chapter, we talk about God spread out the descendant of Noah all over the world by make them speak different languages and spread all over the world. You know that even in China, you know that the Chinese claim themselves to come from Ham or Canaan. I don't know they know the curse or not, but because the biggest group of Chinese people, they call themselves the Han.
Oh yeah, the Han Chinese.
Han.
Right.
Han
Oh yeah, I
Chinese.
heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they say it come from Ham here in Noah time.
Ham.
Yeah. The biggest minority or biggest ethnic group of China is Han. And Chinese have 5,000 year history.
Is that the youngest son?
Well, it go back to after the Babel time.
Yeah, I went to the Chinese church a few days ago. Talk about that.
Yeah, they just celebrate their New Year's, the year of 5,000 something. So they track themselves back to the children of Noah.
We all be a children of Noah. We don't need to
Track anything we know.
So I have one question about the naked Noah. So the story for the naked Noah, so why they have to record it in the Bible? Let us know. So what is the purpose?
Well, the Bible tells us everything good and bad, so we can learn that people do bad things too, and people do good things too. So we learn that we are not perfect, but God still loves us. So I think we can learn that we can understand one another because man make mistake. We all make mistake. So we can understand one another and can forgive one another because we need the grace of God and to show that God so patient with us. You know, I know that in many cultures, we just record only the good side, good thing. We never say about bad thing. But the Bible tell all the truth, good and bad. You see that in many cultures, King David is supposed to be clean, holy, but the Bible record all his mistake, all his sin too. Even Abraham. So we see that we are human beings that make mistake. But the good man that God honor is the one who accept mistake and ask God for forgiveness and change. And that's a great man. The great man is not the man who have no sin, but the man who know how to confess and change.
Okay. So one another questions, and after Noah be outside the ark, and then in the chapter 9, so wasn't say anything about his wife. And he still have a wife, and
People always have wife in the old time and sometimes many wives. But you see, the Hebrew Bible will never mention about wife unless something very important happened to her. So they will mention about her. But if just normal thing, the wife will never be mentioned.
So they're not really important.
Let me put this way. A lot of men also not mentioned too. For example, the line of the family, they will mention just the firstborn son. The secondborn, thirdborn, fourthborn, they never mention too. Just the firstborn or the heir will be mentioned.
It's kind of odd on the day, back to the day, because like when Jesus he feeds 5,000, they only mention for the men, not include the women and children. So
Yeah, that's the way they count because the man represent the whole family. So it means that 5,000 family there. There is wife, the children, but the man represent the family. But in our Western culture, we talk about 5,000 men. In fact, in Hebrew, it means 5,000 family. So you can guess 20,000 people at least there. Yes, Kat?
John, that is, the Jesus do the miracle thing that about 2 times. One's a 4,000, one is a 5,000, right?
At the Bible record that 2 times, but we believe in that 3.5 years, Jesus might feed many more times.
But that's actually, that's really sure that's a 2 times, different time. It's not one.
Yeah, that 2 times different too.
Oh, okay. So now I understand. So
Yeah.
we might have a small group. We might talking about that, about 4 hours about that thing. Once maybe only one time that maybe the Matthew, Mark, and then whatever that they just only talk one, but you know, a little bit different. So that's that's a 2 time, right? That's a 2 time.
At least we know, but
Okay.
possibility more than 2 times.
Okay.
So each time will be different.
and one other thing they will be kind of confused and this 2 different time and then the same play or different place. Would be 5,000 and 4,000.
Jesus preached or teach most of the time in Galilee.
We saw that one.
He came to Jerusalem just 3 times a year. But people who follow him, you see that it's always allowed the Galilee, the mountain there, and he always go to the boat into the lake. So you can guess that all that his audience come to him in Galilee, allow the lake. And the lake here in Galilee, it's surrounded by mountain. It's on top of the mountain, that lake.
So that means it's same area, different place?
It's possible. But you see, Jesus lived there, or his disciples lived in Galilee, allowed there.
All right.
And there is some place that big enough that people can sit and they can hear him. Now you talk about Jesus to 20,000 people. How could that 20,000 people hear him without microphone, amplified?
That's right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that miracle, one thing. And they say that the area have echo like when you go to the mountain and you shout, you hear your voice echo aloud. So the spot that Jesus is, that similar to that, mean that people can hear all around him. So we don't know exactly. Like today, you go to the Roman Colosseum or the Greek theater, they can sit 5,000, 10,000 people, and the people just sing or shout, and that 10,000 people can hear too. That's why, yeah.
Probably because of the terrain over there, it looked like a valley, looked like a speaker shape.
Yeah,
And Jesus was on the bottom or the center of the bottom of that speaker, and then the voice magnify.
yeah, they have the knowledge to see, to find the praise or decide the praise that will echo or the voice.
Mm,
And also
Okay.
the miracle, right?
mm,
Yeah, but we believe that Jesus did with the miracle that make it happen.
mhm.
So
Oh,
that
John,
day
just-
when Jesus feed people, there's so many miracles.
Okay.
John, can I ask out of the topic one more question, please?
Yes.
For the parable of the mustard seeds, is that represented to Jesus or something else?
Wait, so you have to find the verses. Where's the verses?
What's a parable?
About the mustard seed, or that small seed, small that is represent the Jesus about that mustard seed, because when it grow and then the bird can be can do the nest with that the mustard. Is it what I understand? This is he talking about himself or what? Is it that the mustard seed?
Jesus mentioned about the kingdom of God is like a mustard seed. He used that word. The kingdom of God is like the mustard seed. It's so small,
Mm.
but when it grows, it can be very big.
Wow. Okay.
You find the verse number, the exact.
So it can mean himself, can mean the power of God, can mean the kingdom of God, or mean the church, or believer too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Because
that
that's small.
scholar said that is a kingdom of God.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
It
John.
start very small and nobody pay attention, but when it grow, it's big.
Okay, thank you.
John, I have the map that when Jesus fed the 5,000 is near Galilee, and then the 4,000 is near the Jordan River, one town called Decapolis town area.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think they happen in two different locations.
Hmm. Yeah. At the end of the Galilee is the beginning of Jordan. You know that it's all connected. The lake is on top of the mountain on the north, the Lake of Galilee. At the end of the lake is the Jordan River.
Yeah.
And at the end of the Jordan River is the Dead Sea.
Mm-hmm.
It's all connected.
Canaan be the slave of Japheth.
So I think we have another question from the out of the topic here that on the Matthew chapter 10 and on the the verse at 30 and 32. It say Jesus, he said he wasn't come to bring peace, but he come bring the sword. And father, daughter, son, and again each other. So I don't know. We cannot understand what he say.
Okay, you need to look this way. When Jesus mentioned about the world, today the world is ruled by Satan. And as long as Satan control it, everyone under his control. But when Jesus come to save someone, now that person become enemy of Satan and enemy of the rest of the world. So you see that Satan tried to stop Jesus because Jesus come to bring peace, but for Satan it's war because Jesus bring people away from him, from his power. So now a few people will follow Jesus, but the rest of the family will fight back because they're under the power of Satan. So this is why the mention that some who get saved and a lot is not saved. That is war. Because Satan will never allow anyone to be saved, never allow anyone to go to Jesus. So it's war. Even today we might say that we go to war to save soul. I know in our sense we want peace. We want everyone to love one another, but this is war, spiritual war. In order to save everyone, we need to go to war to save them. Do you think Satan will negotiate with us? No way.
No. No.
No. Everyone that we want to save, we need to fight for it.
When we pray,
Satan know what we pray about.
Well, Satan know a lot. He have spy everywhere. Maybe have all the electronic that we don't have.
But he does know.
But he doesn't know the future though. Only God knows the future. But some people told me Satan knows, like they prophesy or predict that next year you will got hit by a car. How he know that? No, he doesn't know. But he just say it and he follow you home. And on a certain day, he just drag you out in front of a car, let the car hit you. So that is very, very dangerous to believe or to follow Satan. He did not know the future, but he can make it happen when time comes.
Yeah, I agree that one. So like when we say something, if we not protect by God, and then the Satan would make that happen.
Yeah. And Jesus always reminds us that we are involved with Satan all the time. And we have to be careful. Satan will destroy us in any way they can. And destroy the church. And you might wonder that why church have problem all the time. Because we have enemy who want to destroy us all the time.
can it be the same thing that why Jewish is
being persecuted throughout all history.
Who are you talking about?
Jewish?
They've been persecuted forever ever since. They've
Who?
been sorry.
We did not hear what you say the first.
I said that can it be like Jewish too, because Jewish been punished throughout history. People try to get rid of them. For thousands of years, they're still here.
And you have a good reason for that.
Well, the reason is that because the word is it ruled by Satan, but Jewish is the children of God, promise, children of promise, and the constant war with Jewish.
Yes. The Jew is the first group of people, the promised group of people that God chosen, yes. But they did a lot of bad things too. But God still loved them, that's correct. Because the ancestors have a lot of good things. Mean that the ancestors believe in God, obey God too.
Because of the God covenant never end, is that right?
Yes, because God never changed, God keep his promises. And you can start the same thing. If you obey God, you love God, your covenant is with you and your children too. So this is the best inheritance you can give to your children, many generations. I always say that God made the covenant with my great-grandfather generation. And the blessing keep coming for 7 generations. So I don't know how long your family are believers. My family is almost 200 years. Okay, we can go back for more chapter. Let's see what chapter we cover now. 10. Chapter 10 is about the table of nation, mean that we are come from 3 sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And don't forget, we don't know exactly that Noah have more children after this or not, but this is the family that going to be the ancestor of all of us today. And then I told Gao that the Bible did not record all names. It just the first name, the first son, the first heir of Israel will have a chance to appear here. The second son or the daughter don't have name here. So you see that you can come from different line, but this is just a sample of the heir, the name of the firstborn son, most of them here. And we see some line of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Java, Tabor, and some nation today like the China, the Chinese, or the Russian will claim that they come from this line. Japheth, we believe that Japheth is the ancestor of most of Caucasian people, European people. So that the theory go on, and some of the Middle East too. Like the word Magog is the old name that all the Russian always claim that the ancestor is Magog. And Gomer, the German, always claim that this is the ancestor of the German people. We cannot we know for sure. Even today, you can check your genetic and go back thousands of years to try to find out. So this is the German people claim that they come from this line too. And Madai and the ancient Medes, this is all in today, the people who live in Iraq or in Iran are these people, descendant of these people. And the ancient Greek, the Roman claim that they come from Javan, the children of Japhet too. And the line could go on that many other nations claim, as I mentioned early on, that the Chinese claim that they come from Ham, the son of Ham, is the ancestor of the Chinese. Cush is Babylonian, and Mizraim is many are in Egypt today. We cannot say for sure, but those nations always claim that they have the ancestor line come from this group of people. So some of the name going to be the leader like Nimrod and Babel. Later on going to be the center of people that God going to spread all over the world. And the Bible will tell more about each family, what they do and where they're going to move. Here is still not very clear, but after next chapter about the Babel, you will see that people will scatter around all over the world. Now you see that all these people still live very close together as a big family. After the flood, they not go far away from one another. Maybe the reason is they're afraid the flood will come again or disaster might happen. So the people stay together in one place, all of them. Every family just stay next to one another. They never spread out. So that might be psychological problem that they seem afraid of the flood. Or the ancestor told them, don't move far away. In case something happen, we can help one another, or we can save one another again. So this is against the will of God. God wants them to spread out to live in the whole world, but they don't want to spread out. They want to keep together. And this might be a big problem for them. So this is the theory, though we don't know exactly. So how you think about that? They don't want to spread out, but God wants them to spread out. They're afraid of something might happen again. So this is why they stay together for many years after the flood. So how you think about the theory? Why they don't want to spread out after the flood?
Probably after the flood, is there not that many people?
Yeah, there's still not many, but now they start have a lot of children now. You know that men always have a lot of children, but in the past, a lot of them die. And I say that most baby die before 1 year old. And very few can live up to 20 years old. So the percentage of people who survive to 20 is very few.
After the flood?
Well, after the flood, I think that the percentage of survival is high. Maybe because God still bless them and protect them. It looked like that they multiply so fast after the flood. Most likely that all the babies survive. But if in our history, like 50 or 100 years ago, you look back, your parents might tell you that they lost your brother, they lost your sister, that the baby died. Every family have that baby all the time.
Which specific year, like, John know about, like, after the Jesus time or before the Jesus time or what? For that, people who live, not longer than 20 years for the,
Oh, we don't know that far, but if you look about Jesus' time, people who live to 50 years old consider long life because a lot of people die in their 20, 30 because of war, because of disease, because of starvation. A lot of people die before 20. So this is why they have a lot of widow.
that mean Ajahn mentioned about the people who live not longer than 20 years in which time, like, after the Babylon, before the flood time.
But before the flood, people live a long time.
Yeah, but I understand that after that. So that means the Babylon for the temple after that.
Yeah, after the flood, one thing God said that God will limit the time of people maximum 120 years.
Mhm.
And today, rarely anyone live up to 120. You know that a few years ago, I heard that the average age of people, a man in Laos is just about 45 years old. Unbelievable. 45 years old, the average age to survive of a Lao guy is around 45 years old.
So Ajahn mean that what time, like, it's
About 20 years, 30 years ago.
after World War II.
Yeah.
Oh, but what I heard my family side, they live up to 90 years old for about 5, 6 generations. But I don't know, maybe that yeah, after World War II, yeah, my mom's dad just only lived 49, 45, 49 years old. Chao Mai. Yeah, John. About 50 something, yes.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people told me that the dad died at 45, 46, 48. A lot of them die young.
Can I asking everybody the age, like how old we are here?
I going to be 70 in November.
70. Ajahn, you're a little bit older than me.
How old are you?
I'm 54.
54.
Yes.
Still baby. I'm the oldest one here. I always joke with students that when I start teaching 40 years ago, I'm younger than my student. But now I'm the oldest one in class.
So life is really short for us in here on earth.
Yes, yes.
So we don't even think about it, and then we are gone to
You're
on the
right.
floor.
So make every day worth living.
So
Serving God, enjoy life, share your love with everyone because life is short.
be happy.
Yeah, happy.
Be happy, but the reason sometimes we forgot, so we get angry. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's not worth it if you think back why angry, why mad at one another, since we don't have a lot of time.
That's true. I can tell my children and tell the people around me, be happy and life too short and just live uh uh every moment with a good love heart. But like it's hard to do, like a lot of things going on. So
Yes, that's why we need to remind ourselves every day. You heard the saying that make today is like your last day of your life. Ever think that way? It's so scary to think that today is your last day.
yeah.
But who knows?
We never know because
Yeah.
only God know.
Hmm.
Just do the best we can.
Yes. Every day, do your best.
Again, the English word said like yesterday was the past and tomorrow's future, and today is they call it present. So is that they really mean that what we have right at the moment it's a present, the present time.
Yes, if you look that way, and a lot of new thinking is live in the present. So how you understand that? They say live in the present or
Is it
live
a
in the
gift?
moment.
Yeah, is it a gift? Like today is present, is it a gift?
Yes, it means that a lot of people don't have today. Tomorrow never come.
We don't know tomorrow.
Mm.
God, so Jesus said, don't worry about tomorrow, only today.
You know that I heard a joke when I first came to America. My friend always say that, look at the Spanish people. They always say mañana. Everything is mañana. So I don't understand that. It just means that they always say, well, tomorrow we will do it. Tomorrow we will do something, but tomorrow never come.
It could be they look at different perspective, Ajahn. They
Yeah,
look at with hope. Tomorrow is not today, so there's a hope.
yeah, it can look that way, or it can be a good excuse. Yeah, it's just how we treat tomorrow.
I think people think like that. They think of
Hope. There's a hope. There's tomorrow. There's still a chance, kind of thing. In Laos, we have an old saying that I'd rather die on the other side of the river than here. So I have to try hard to get there. That's a hope, kind of thing.
Well, but the Bible way is do your best for today.
Okay.
Do your best every day. So far, we need to move at least 4 chapters every week now. So I send you to chapter 20. And next week, I will send you the lesson to chapter 30. So you can start reading in advance. So you have a time to read all the note in advance. and how your small group going. Kong Sai faithfully send me the report of the meeting every week. That's very good.
Yeah, because I think I plan all the date ahead, Ajahn. So
That's
that
good.
way, yeah, can in the past that we said we depend on write it down, but I lost how many people coming. But they are attending, but so
Yeah, it's good when you have a meeting, you start writing the note. When you finish meeting, you have something to send me right away. So that's the
Yes.
best way.
So Ajahn, the question is how we doing? Do you like what we doing and send you, or you want to
Yeah,
ask?
I see that your team have progress. You discuss about the problem, the question, and I think it's good because I can see that all of you try your best, and you have question, you have doubt, so that is very normal.
Okay.
So that's a good thing that I see your progress of your team.
Thank you. Yeah.
Ajahn,
Yes.
instead of sending you note every time, can we just do a record and send that to you?
I prefer you writing something because I can keep it and evaluate it later on. Now they have a program that they can write it for you when you speak it, don't they?
Yeah, except that it's spelled the wrong way.
I see some people who now record their text to me, it translates into written form now. Or your voicemail. I think Apple have they put all your voicemail into letter format now.
Ajahn, their software is not good yet because they can't catch the broken English.
Well, I understand your broken English. Yeah, I heard sometime when you talk to what they call your TV now, what they call you call them. I heard my wife call her our TV, but not Siri, but
Alexa.
Alexa. At first I said, who you talk to?
Yeah,
Alexa.
these days that we speak everything. So we speak to the computer, we speak to the phone.
Ajahn, good thing about Monday night is now our wives attending.
Oh, good.
And
That's
also
really
we have
good.
some, like Pastor Sufoi from Laos attending too. And he has some questions. It's like, it's good. We get a wife to attend. That's good. And that's why you see a lot of numbers.
Well, we try to help students from Laos, from Thailand, or from China, Vietnam to learn with us if they want to.
Yes.
It just, well, they can try and sit with us to see how they can understand how much.
Ajahn, our team will still continue to meet every Thursday. Just Nathan hasn't turned in his note yet.
I took some note, but I have to write it down. Make it
Make it make sense?
more make sense, yeah.
Make more sense.
Well, you can, next time you type it in your computer, so it can save you some time.
Ajahn, did Hannah email you about tonight?
Yeah, she told me that she cannot get in, but I told her to watch the YouTube so she can follow us that way.
Oh, Hannah, can I get in?
No, she's busy.
No,
Oh,
she cannot.
yeah, she's busy tonight, I think, because it's her mom and dad's birthday tomorrow. So I'm sure they're
Oh,
preparing
tell
food.
her happy birthday. Tell them mom and dad birthday the same day.
I think they try to celebrate at the same time. So
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. You get two birds in with one stone. Okay, you have any more questions before we take a break?
Nathan and Farm, if you want the format that what we're doing on a Monday night recording easy, I can send it to you.
yeah, send it over. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Just a format, you know.
No
Okay.
problem. Yeah, send it over. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
I'll
for
do that.
You're right. In order to make more disciples, we have to know how to be Jesus' disciple first. If we don't know how to be Jesus' disciple, whatever we make is not Jesus' disciple too.
A long time ago, I used to think that it's very dangerous to be to disciple. Sometimes because we don't know enough to teach anybody.
You're right in one thing. We never know enough. So that's the first point. So when we going to wait until we know enough?
That's right.
I
That
don't
means
think,
if we wait until we know enough, that means we never be.
yeah, Jesus never tell us to wait until we know enough. So the whole point is we share what we know. We share what we have. And you know that in Jesus' time, all his disciples just start sharing and making other disciples while they're learning too.
But John, I think if we wait until we know enough to teach, and we cannot come back. We cannot come back to teach. We'll be gone.
You're right. So the process is we're learning and sharing and making in the same time. And for example, I have been teaching for 40 years and learning in the same time. I learn new things every day and learn from all of you too. So that's a process.
What is fearing God, Ajahn?
Well, I think all your friends can share what is fearing God mean to you. In the old time, feeling mean that we are afraid of. When we get close to someone so powerful, we are afraid. We fear. We don't want to get too close to those people. But to God, it means a little bit different. And sometimes a lot different. In the Bible, fear God means that we honor God, we respect God, and we worship God in that feeling. Because God is awesome, God is holy, God is great, and God is everything we have. So fear God in the Bible means so different from what we feared in this world.
This is on the February 13. I read this Romans chapter 12, living sacrifice to God, verse 2. Don't copy behavior and custom of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. So God needs to transform us. Right, Ajahn?
Yes. So transform here, it means change to a different person.
How's that take place?
So how far you feel that you have been changed?
Since when?
Since you're born again, since you accept Jesus.
Well, I'm sure I changed so much.
Thank you. Nice to meet everybody here. So I gotta leave. Thank you. See you next time.
Okay, son.
God bless
Take
all.
care. God bless you.
Thank you.
Ta na pa me sa cháu chỉ biểu chỉ năm hòn me cha pa me yo chỉ năm hòn sa ta ne.
Bốp như này mình số bốp.
Phải oi mi zu công à. Công bà rồi nè.
Yeah, the process never stopped. Since the day we born again until the day we leave this world or leave this body.
Ajahn, we are taking this class for making disciple. We're using Matthew 28, 19 and 20, right? And then it says tell us to go and teach other people the same thing that we have learned. Is that what it really means?
Well, it means that what God worked in our lives is the best teaching that we can share with people. It's not just the head knowledge, but it's the experience we have with God. What God have done in our life is the best teaching that we can share with people.
But why sometimes when we see Jesus heal somebody or do some miracle to somebody, he said, go and don't tell anybody about this thing.
Well, Jesus always tell people that way because he have timing for everything. Like when Mary told him, tell the horse, they already don't have any more wine. Jesus told her that, well, my time is not here yet. But later on, he did miracle.
Why did Jesus said woman instead of mother?
Well, in our culture, we might feel unrespect, but in Jewish culture, that is respect way to say that.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, different culture. When we don't know the culture, we might feel that it's weird. Why they do what they do? But
How about
yeah.
How about Jesus said the Holy Spirit gonna teach us and remind us what we have learned. So if we forgetting what we learned, what I hear from you teaching for last 30, 40 years, is that mean Holy Spirit is not with me? Because I don't remember all of most of it.
Put this way, the Holy Spirit always there, but a lot of time we don't listen or we don't care. And God not going to force us to listen or to obey. It's our choice. A lot of time we choose to listen to someone else, or we choose to do something else. And remember, the temptation is always there, all the time. Even Jesus got tempted all the time, but he have to fight off all the temptation. You think that Satan come to Jesus one time and never come back?
I think Satan probably follow him everywhere he go.
Even on the cross.
Even on the cross?
Yep.
Wow. That's kind of weird way to think of it.
Yeah, because they have to try to stop Jesus even until the last moment.
How we gonna make it? even Jesus himself, Satan follow him everywhere he go, everything he does, try to wait for the moment that he can take opportunity and do things.
Well, we cannot survive, but by the help of God, we get to overcome it. So you see that we have to depend on God all the time.
Amen.
Amen. And Jesus promised he will never desert us. So you have a chance in your small group to talk about some of what we have learned so far. So which is the most difficult in the lesson that you try to do?
Who you asking?
Oh, the whole group.
Oh. Well, we haven't get to that point yet. On the small group, I just call Kamsai today and make arrangement that I gonna join them.
Okay, that's good. Okay, let's go to tonight's chapter 4. How to create a breakthrough moment in broken relationship. So now, in order to make disciple, we come to a chapter about how to make friends. And sometimes friendship broke down. It's like your car broken down in the middle of the highway. How you fix it? Well, if you have some knowledge, you can fix it on spot. If not, you need help. So here in the chapter, we talk about some advice and some clue and something that we support to be careful. And here is the first advice that we talk about what causes problem in relationship and can break down your friendship. The first one, they call the four horsemen come from the Bible. This means that four of the enemy. The first one is criticism. When you use criticism in your relationship or with your friend, it will break down your friendship. So what that means? Can you use criticism? Well, you can advise, you can suggest, but never criticize your friend or your team or your loved one. What's the difference between advice and criticism? Criticism means that you look at the bad side and you always find fault. But advice means that you try to help them. You show them that you care. And that's a big difference. And you can tell this is criticism or this is advice. The second horseman that they talk about, like in the book of Genesis, each horseman bring death, deceit, problem. The second one is contempt. Contempt is mean more like you look down on the person. You make fun of him. You put them down. You don't care about them. And that destroys your friendship and relationship. You don't do that to your friend or your loved one. So sometimes, I know in some culture, it's very normal, especially for older people treating younger one, or boss treating employee. And for friendship, we don't do this. We have to get rid of that. Number three, the third horseman of problem of relationship is we call defensiveness. Mean that you never accept any suggestion, you never accept any mistake, you defend yourself all the time, and every problem is other people's problem, not yours. So this is mean defensive. You defend yourself too much. Nobody can touch you. And that not helping. Why? Because we all can make mistakes and we need to learn how to accept it. And we need to learn how to say sorry. But defensive people cannot take that. Number four, we call stonewalling. Mean that you ignore people. You don't answer. You keep quiet. You don't respond. And this is not good too in your friendship or relationship or in your teamwork. Why people stonewalling? Well, we will talk more in detail later on. Some might be mislearning or misunderstanding or learning the wrong way, how to deal with problems. I know in some culture, they teach people to keep quiet. But to keep quiet in the wrong situation is not good. But in some situation, it's okay. But stonewalling is more than that. It means that you ignore people. You turn off. You make as if that nothing exists at all. So this is the four enemy of friendship, or how to help someone. If you want to help someone, try to get rid of these four horsemen. They bring death, deceit, problem all the time. What does contempt look like? Well, we already explained a little bit. Contempt means that you look down on the person, you make them feel so bad. And you feel that you're better than them and they are nothing. And you make people feel worthless, unloved, and that means contempt. and that hurt. And how it destroy your relationship? Well, in many ways. Because when people feel that you don't treat them the same way, you put them down. And how can they trust you? How can they make friends with you or work with you? And that's difficult. Now, this is more advice how to get rid of contempt. Sometimes you believe this. People don't realize that they treat people so bad all the time. Because maybe they grew up that way or the environment is that way and they don't know this is the problem. So we need to work together. Both sides need to be sincere and share how they feel. Identify the problem and the negative feeling. Sometimes people don't share, and that it brings to miscommunication, even worse. So we need to identify, sit down and talk. We all have some negative feeling. And now another help is, they say create a culture of appreciation, mean that always make people feel good that they have done well. Say it and let them know that you appreciate what they did for you or what is going on. Show them appreciation. Say thank you a lot. And that will help building people to see that you don't look them down, you don't put them down, you appreciate them. You cannot put them in contempt. And how about defensive war? We all do this sometimes. And sometimes we don't know because it becomes unconscious defense mechanism that we put it up to defend ourselves. It can be to defend ourselves from feeling pain or remind us about the history, the trauma that we used to have in the past. So people put a wall around themselves to protect themselves. They don't want to get hurt. They might got hurt before in the past, and they don't want to go to that situation again. So this is some fear going on. And you can see that when you try to get close to someone and you feel that there is a wall around it, something that blocking your communication. So you need to find out if that wall still go on, you cannot build relationship. How to take that wall down? Well, sometimes it might take a lot of work, but sometimes it might get over real quick if you find the door to open through that wall. And sometimes when you work with someone, it looks like everything works smoothly, but suddenly the walls pop up. So you get some doubt that why the relationship just stop, or the good communication just stop right away. Now you need to find out. Sometimes another side already have doubt on you or have problem with you, but they did not tell until you come to a point that they explode. So the wall did not build right away. It might build sometime already, but you don't realize about it. And sometimes you can observe that people overly act. They call hyperreactivity, mean that some situation you feel that your partner or your teamwork or someone you try to help react very over of the situation. And psychologically, we found out that it's not exactly you caused the problem, but some situation remind your friend or your coworker about the past trauma. It's like the soldier who go to war and come back, and from time to time they have bad dream, or something trigger them to that bad memory in the past. So this is another problem that we cannot overlook this. And you might be surprised that why this guy changed right away. Meltdown. This is the interest situation. They say that people who get hurt or have trauma, they need to build wall around themselves to feel safe. But sometimes they cannot build the wall fast enough, or they cannot find a way to defend themselves. They melt down. What that means? Some people just collapse, fainted, crying, or lost all their feeling emotion, or even faint, or pass out. So it means that it doesn't mean that that guy is too emotional, but it just means that they have a lot of background that need help. So this is some extreme situation, but you might have seen this thing happen in some churches or some camp or some conference or someone just melt down in some situation because they face something that so reminding about their past, and they cannot find a way to calm down, so they melt down. So this is the extreme situation. But in the minor side, some people that work with you or you try to help, it look like they're going very well, but one day or in a moment, their personality change. This might cause by many other reasons. And we guess that sometimes they use drug, alcohol, or some kind of medicine that motivate their personality change so fast in the moment. So they go deeper that whenever you want to work with someone who have some problem and you observe them about all these things going on, you have to try to understand them. It doesn't mean that they don't care or they don't want to work with you, but they might have some personal problem or some personal issue that you might need to understand them. And don't let something that happened one time or just happened destroy what you have working for so long. I see some good friends who stopped talking to one another because of some situation that happened in one time, and they ignore the friendship for the past 20 years. They stop talking to one another. They stop working to one another just for one problem. So you might doubt that how that 20-year friendship just go down the drain for one problem. So now you have to think that the real reason might not just that problem, but something else that's going on that you overlook or you don't really pay attention for so long. But it's not that issue that destroy your friendship, but it's just a trigger. You might call a trigger that caused all the mountain to collapse. Now, when people have time, a lot of people try to defend themselves off by slowly emerging wall, mean that they start building wall around themselves slowly, and you can observe that they start changing their friendship, relationship with you, or the way they work with you. And you need to observe that why. There are always reason why they start building the wall around themselves and allow your relationship something happen. And another one they call martyrdom. Is what that means. People will use this strategy. This comes from the murder mean that try to be hero. Or someone who died for a cause. That the word we borrow it here. It means that this guy ready to sacrifice everything. Mean that they're ready to destroy friendship, relationship, or everything that you have built for a long time. When they cannot find any other way out. So this situation will happen when you hurt them so bad emotionally, or you disappoint them so much that they never expect will happen. They're ready to get away from you and sacrifice everything they have built with you for 10, 20, 30 years or whole life. Because something triggered them to the point that no other choice. They need to destroy everything. So this happens sometimes. But when people come to this point, it might be that they see no other option for them. They think that no more option. And this is the last option they have. So they choose, in the sense of soldier, is they sacrifice their life, they die to get out of the situation and destroy all relationship that they build with you their whole life, or the work they work with you for many, many years. So that's a sad situation. And we don't need to wait until it comes to this point. Because when they come to this point, it might be too late to do anything. Another option, people try to escape from some situation that they don't feel comfortable with, or they don't want to work with you anymore. They might find all excuses, don't show up or disappear. Because they don't want to face with the situation they're not happy with, or they don't feel that they can work with you anymore, or they can help you anymore. Escaping can mean that resigning from work that work with you, or quit, or just don't show up. It can mean a lot of things. And when you see that situation, you might have to find out why. That guy just quit, just disappear, don't show up, and escaping you. So there is something going on now. And this is some kind of bad situation that's happening. Now, another situation they call subtle distancing, mean that they did not disappear, they did not run away, they did not stop everything, but you can feel that it's not the same now. They start distancing themselves from you, step by step. You feel that it's not warm anymore. It starts cooling down. Friendship, relationship, and work is not the same anymore, and you can feel it. So this is some advice that when you work with someone or with a team, you need to be always on guard to see that the relationship is so sensitive and it's a two-way, not a one-way work. You need to pay attention to your team or the one that you go to work with. Don't take anything for granted or overlook a lot of signs that happen. Now it's like a good car. It will keep running very well when you keep maintaining it. When you ignoring maintenance, now problem will happen and even breakdown and cost you a lot of time and money later on. Relationship is that way. It's very delicate and very sensitive. Okay, we come to about some advice about building friendship, relationship, or teamwork. And we see some of the problem and some of the side that we can see. And I don't know which one that you facing now or which one that you overlook for a long time. And which one that you feel that this is the most serious situation for you. Okay, let's come back for your reflection or question. So the chapter is mainly talk about problem that happen in friendship, relationship, or in teamwork that a lot of time we overlook because we take it for granted or we don't care enough to pay attention until it's too late. Yes, Nathan?
Yeah, could it be members too? Sometimes we are too excited, sometimes we are too focused on other member that we don't pay attention on the other one, and we think that they're all doing good, but somehow you kind of feeling, hey, you're not coming, you're not coming to our gathering, and sometimes after you find out that something's not right.
Well, I have been pastoring churches for more than 40 years, and it's always something surprised me all the time. New thing. I'm still learning. So the whole point is we have to keep learning, adjusting, improving, never stop.
Again, maybe learning, but at the same time learn different people, different personalities, so we can different people have different personalities, so we can cope with different people.
Yeah, everyone is unique. You cannot use something that works with someone with another one. Each one is very unique. Sometimes you think that, oh, this thing worked many years with most people, but it doesn't work now with a certain people.
What is my symptom?
That with my relationship.
Yeah. So what do you think? You think that because you too busy, overlook all the sign for a long time?
Well, this seems to be a combination. One is trauma from the past,
Mm-hmm.
and two is what's that? The one that sacrifice everything. Modern. How do you say that?
Martyrdom.
Martyrdom.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes people think that that's the only option they have.
Is that right? Or
No,
to-
a lot of time it's not. But for them, they feel that this is the best option for them.
sound like a suicide?
Oh yeah, all the people who suicide because they believe that way. For a lot of us, it's nonsense, but for them, that's the best option. That's why they murder. Or some even commit suicide.
Yeah. But anyway, even doesn't suicide feel like a suicide to me, because that is doing using permanent solution for temporarily problem.
Yeah, sometimes we need to put ourselves in that shoe because we are so different. And a lot of time we look from our perspective. And sometimes we need to take ourselves to look from their own perspective. We will see things different too.
Then we see all those problems almost every time in the church.
Oh yeah,
in,
church
in,
have
in your team and all the stuff, you know. And sometimes we let it go too long without taking action. That become a problem. Yeah.
yeah. We all learn the hard way. And a lot of time we take it for granted, mean that we think that everything well.
So a lot of members they moving church, like here and to there because they have so much problem in there. So we would all the leader they wasn't taking care for it, and that's why they have a problem. So that's I think it's not only one church. There are a lot of churches doing that problem.
Yeah, most of the leaders have a lot of work handful. And if they don't see problem, they don't try to deal with because they're already too busy with so many things. And sometimes I know leader have to select what comes first or what is serious now. They cannot go and deal with everything.
And those problem is come with that when the member they come to church but they not really focused on what they are believing. Like they just come in and goes and then they deal with those problems coming. But as good believer, they follow Jesus and they are easy to deal with for themselves.
Well, a church is a hospital for sick people. And people who are well don't go to hospital. How do you think about most people who come to church have problem? That's why they come.
No, not really. Some they just come with friends, with some like their relative, like they're not really come for Jesus.
Yeah, I think there is always like people who come to listen to Jesus teaching in the past. I believe that a lot of them come for free food or healing. They get something out of what they come for. And not a lot come because they want to be Jesus' disciple. No.
Again, I think for that reason, that's why I think that Jesus, when he healed people, he tell them not to go tell other people. If those go tell, and then now people will come line up for him to heal them instead of do the ministry for the greater purpose.
Yeah, that's a good point that a lot of time the Bible mentioned that Jesus healed them because he had mercy on them. He saw their suffering, their sickness, their problem, and he just want to help them. But a lot of them never come for the gospel or to be his disciple, no. Yeah,
Number 4, อาจารย์ for the stone warring. So if with the teamwork, with the same leadership, if we're facing that problem, they always they don't do nothing. They just sitting, and then you try to pull them out, and then try to get together to talk about the thing that we supposed to deal with. That they're just pretending they don't know, they don't care, they don't want to deal with that, and then just sit. What should we solve that problem, John?
Well, you see, different culture might demand different things. And you come from your culture, you know that when they stonewalling mean that they still come because of some reason.
Yes, Ajahn, that's right. So I see a lot, but I don't mean talking about what my personal. Okay, I just say something. For example, sometimes two part. One is very, very care about it. One part they don't care. So end up the one who care, and finally the one is not taking care, but they want to claim it. They want to claim those things they said, that's my point. That what I did, that what I earned, and then they take it. So let them take it, right, John?
Yeah, for the better cause, for the unity, sometimes we need to accept it. Sometimes we need to sacrifice for the better cause.
Okay. Thank you.
So that is another good point. You as a leader, sometimes you need to sacrifice more.
Sometimes leaders they sacrifice more, but sometimes they come to a point you have to step foot down, and you know, like you said earlier, you said defend, you know, defend your right.
Yeah, there is time when you need to stand up for the right thing, but a lot of time you need to just keep quiet.
Yeah.
And you know that from different perspective, like in business world, in politics, if you're right, you never stand down. You always stand up, and you always fight back. But as a Christian leader, it's different. A lot of time, God will take care of it. You just need to wait for God.
How do I do as a businessman, and I'm a landlord, and I try to be mercy to the tenant and work with them, and then when the time comes, when they get what they want, they just skip out, and they don't. So I sometimes feel like I'm stupid that work with these people, give them a chance to stay and work with them when they get money. When they get money, like recently this person here, her husband died, her daughters died within a month apart, and then she gonna get the insurance from her husband, life insurance, and we work with her and then let her stay for quite a long time, and now she get the money and then she just skip out. Not only skip out, lie to me, and then sneak out in the middle of the night, and feel like I'm stupid from being mercy and give them a chance. But at the same time, have to believe in God that God promised that helping the poor is like lending to the Lord. He will pay.
Yeah, in
Can
business,
I look at that way, or am I being stupid, Ajahn?
In business, then you're stupid.
Sorry? Yeah. In business sense, I feel like I'm stupid, yes.
But at a Christian way, you did the right thing. So which one you want to be? You cannot be both. You have to choose one.
But to do, believe that God will see to it, and God will do as He please.
Well, I think that you choose the right thing. And you see that if you trust God in everything, you don't need to worry.
And not to be jealous on their devil the devil way of that's a word in the Bible that don't be jealous of the wicked success, wicked way of success, kind of thing like that.
Yeah, from Christian perspective, you did the right thing. If everything belongs to God, why worry too much?
True.
Mm.
And sometimes I have to think like it's better to be somebody that they can take advantage of than be the one who have to take advantage of somebody.
You're right. That is Jesus' way. Being taken advantage of better than you take advantage of someone.
That's right. That's how I have to think that way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
At least we have enough for somebody to take advantage of us.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feel stupid in a way.
Now everyone say Christian stupid.
Actually, we just humble ourselves and we let God take care of problem. So we not fight. We let God do His job. So we trust Him.
And at the same time, have to remind myself that revenge is not my place, belong to God.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot take revenge.
Well, thank you for sharing. So we learned from your experience.
For example, today, this family here, her husband is very bad person, accused very aggressive and very kind of violent kind of thing. Now we can have to evict her, but she come to me and apologize and begging for mercy and will do everything, even willing to divorce her husband. And so on. And I told her that my job is not to divide your family. But the only thing that I tell her that he cannot be aggressive to me or to the employee or anybody else. And I give him a chance to continue to stay. But if one more time, if he do it one more time, I will bar him from coming to the building completely.
Yeah, you did the right thing.
Because I think to make them divorce each other is not God. I don't think God will be pleased with that.
Yeah, you will not make them go that way, but it's their own choice, their own life. So you see that in all situations, there is always option. Some people might say that there is no option, but I believe that there are always option. And people say that what is option? It's just bad, worse, or worse. So that means that no good option. Well, that's still option. And sometimes we still have to choose bad, worse, or worse. But always the way that to honor God and to keep your conscience clear. That's the best choice. Okay, let's go back to the note a little bit more. And we come to emphasize that stonewalling, is it ruin your relationship? Is right or wrong? Well, most of the time it's right. When people stonewalling mean that they're ignoring you, they don't respond, they don't want to do anything with you. They might be there, but even they are there, you cannot count on them. And that will destroy your friendship, relationship, and your teamwork and everything. And they come in many forms. Some people stop talking at all. Some people still talking, but they don't pay attention or they don't get involved. And you need to find out why they're doing that. It can be personal reason, there might be psychological reason, or there might be some other thing, underlying issue. If you care enough about the relationship or the teamwork, you need to talk with the person, find a way to solve the problem. And here they tell us about some of the signs that people are stonewalling. Look at what they say. They walk out in the middle of conversation. They refuse to talk. They dismiss your concern. They engage in passive aggressive behavior. They change the subject. They give you the silent treatment. So this is some sign that tell you that your team, your people, your mate, your friend is stonewalling you. This is some gesture that come with all these things. So when you see all this sign, you know that they're stonewalling you now. So here how to tell if you tend to stonewalling now about you. And sometimes you never realize that you also stonewalling. Your friend, your team, your mate. Now look at what you do. You avoid conflict and argument in any possible way. You try to avoid everything. So this is a sign that you also stonewalling. You get very defensive when your partner addresses a concern. Now you understand defensive means that you don't accept mistake. You don't think that you're wrong. You always think that everyone's wrong. And you have reason. You argue with everything all the time. You hide your true feeling, opinion. You have a hard time admitting when you are wrong. So this is some sign that sometimes we ourselves also do this thing without realizing that we are the problem too. So this is four signs that they suggest. We never accept mistake. We never share feeling. We always defensive. Don't accept any responsibility and avoid conflict, argument. Now there are two words. They say that stonewalling and gaslighting. So what that two words mean? Now they say stonewalling is mechanism that might come from emotional or physical reaction someone experienced in the past, or partner may simply not be able to express how they feel. Instead, they shut down. This is the meaning of stonewalling. is the defense mechanism, mean that they try to protect themselves by building the wall around themselves. This is the word stonewalling. Now, gaslighting, what that mean? This is the effort to manipulate and hurt other people intentionally form of emotionally abuse. So this is serious. Stonewalling, you protect yourself, but gaslighting means that you hurt other people by talking, saying, doing, to abuse other people, hurting other people intentionally. So this is even worse, very serious. Sometimes that two go hand in hand. A lot of women are stonewalling. A lot of men is gaslighting. Why? Because man is more aggressive and woman is more passive. So the woman protect herself by stonewalling, build wall around herself. But man going out abuse other people, hurt other people. So we look at all these things. In all relationship or in teamwork, you will see people stonewalling and gaslighting all the time. And those two is not helping. Now, this is more advice about they use the word 3-day rule after an argument. It just sum up this way. When you're angry, when you're fighting, stop and give yourself some time off. And they always say that 3 days mean that don't do anything for 3 days. After 3 days, come back and talk and work it out. But the rule is not strictly 3 days. Some people need just 1 day or 2 days. Some people need 4 days, 5 days, 7 days, or a month. But it just make up 3 days. In American culture, they say 3 days is the cool down period. After 3 days, a lot of people are ready to talk. So they say that don't talk when you're angry. Don't try to solve the problem when it's so hot. Give some cool down period. After cool down, everybody will have more reason to talk. They can think more clearly. Now, some statistics saying that more than 50% of marriages in America will end up in divorce. And a lot of problems happen because they fight all the time. Every couple have problems. It's just how they handle their differences, their problems. And a lot of divorce happen in the first few years of marriage. And after that, it cool down until after 10, 20 years now, the percentage pop up again. It looked like that in that after the first few years of problem, they solve the problem, they decide to continue. But after almost 20 years now, the problem come back again. So this is the statistic in America, though. So they say that the cool down period will help. And in every state, they will have the cool down period when they file for divorce. You cannot do anything for 4 months, 6 months that they call cool down period. They give you time to go back and think, evaluate. And if you still want it, you can have to come back. And when you come back to talk, they say that first, you need to agree on some rule. What you should talk, what you should not talk, what we can do, what we cannot do. Take time apart. Mean that in that 3 days, 5 days, 1 month, you separate and think and evaluate. And the third thing is focus on your self-care. Don't ignore yourself, make yourself happy, take some vacation or do something fun for yourself. So this it will help you. Number 4 advice is reflect on your feeling. After a few days, think about why you get mad, why you sad, why you feel that way. What is the cause? And then sometimes what you feel is not the real reason. Under there, what is the real reason that make you mad, sad, or argue, or cause the problem? There is the surface reason and the underground reason. The real one may be under there. Number 6, the advice is practice empathy, mean that look at other people from their shoe, mean that put their shoe on. Think about them. If you were them, how you could feel. So it just try to understand other side, why they act what they do, why they do what they did, why they did what. If you were them, will you do the same thing? Why? So this is like playing role of another side or your friend or your teamwork. Why they feel that way? Why they did that way? What caused them? If you were them, will you do the same thing? Write down your thought. It's something that you put note on to help you think, help you remember, and help you to find out the solution. Now you have to plan to approach the discussion. Now, when you go back to talk, what you're going to talk, plan something ahead. And choose a good time and place to talk. It's so important though. The time that's good for you, for your side and their side, and a good place that you know that you like it, they like it. Don't find a place that's going to cause problem or not comfortable for both sides. Listen attentively, mean that pay a lot of time, listen. Now don't argue, don't fight, just listen. And let them talk. Let both sides talk and express what they feel. Don't stop them. Don't argue with them at this point. Because you come to solve the problem, not to argue anymore. And listening helps a lot. When each side see that, oh, they listen to me, they care enough. And sometimes you don't need to offer much. It's already solved half of the problem already. Because you pay attention to listen. And that alone helps so much. Don't argue now. Just listen. Okay, this is some 10 advice how to deal with difficulty, problem that happen in your relationship, in your friendship, and in your teamwork. Cool down, and in that cool down time, plan ahead what you can do and what you should not do. Think about everything, plan, jot down your idea, spend time to relax, to have fun, and come with a new attitude, to listen, to feel the pain of other side. Not come back to fight more or to argue more. No, that is not the whole point. But come to understand another side, to offer help, and even sometimes to say sorry. So this is some advice. I don't know which one you think is the best that we should do more or we forget to do when we try to solve the problem. How you think about the 10 suggestions?
Good to know. It's good. It's a lot of all these things happen to the with everybody. So we just learn how sometimes to be patient as much as you can, and then sometimes like sometimes the pot is getting boiling to the point of that is spill over. Yeah. we had that happen, you know.
So you see that when people want to come to talk, it means that they care. If they don't care, they don't want to come back to talk.
John, how do you deal with people that shut off and don't want to come and talk?
Maybe they're not ready.
And you wait for how many years?
That's a good question to say. I don't know. But you keep back in touch and try to find out they're ready to talk or not. Maybe if a small step, maybe not the full step. They might not ready to solve everything, but at least start some friendship, relationship. So that to build up.
The problem is if they shut down, they don't want to answer the phone, they don't want to talk. If you go visit, they don't allow you, invite, they don't come, and that is the hard part because we don't have chance to talk, to understand each other.
I heard that some of you just show up. They just show up in their house, they're pressed.
You know, I did that, Ajahn. They said, you come, you don't call ahead, but we call ahead, you don't pick up, you know, and we're going to surprise you. That's why that's the only way we can get to talk to you, you know.
Yeah, show up with some gift, present.
Ajahn, when somebody doesn't want to give us an opportunity to make things right, why spend so much energy to go up to that particular person when we can use the energy with somebody that really are willing to make a relationship, to be working with us?
It depends. You care about that relationship or not, or you want to save it or not.
Well, yes, true. We want to save it, but at the same time, it takes two. We cannot keep chasing the bear when the bear is in flighting mode.
Yeah, that's why they say you need a cool down period.
Until they're ready to compromise or listen or to give opportunity or something.
Yes.
Sometimes the more they're running away.
You see, every hot thing will need time to cool down. Some very short time, some take a lot of time to cool down. But everything eventually will cool down. Don't you think so? Unless some people keep the heat under there all the time.
Yeah, you know, people get mad, you know, when people get mad at one another, some they take it up to like years and 10 years, never forgive. But Jesus said, you get mad, you get angry, so don't let the sun go down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's easy to say than done, though.
You're right. So
Right.
each situation demands different way to deal with. But the whole theory is don't try to talk or to solve problem when things feel very hot.
We got a situation to Ajahn in the past almost 2 months, 3 months already coming up. So I still pursue. I still call how they're doing, you know. And then so yeah, there's this talk we do okay, and after that they said, you know, I'll call you back later in the evening. Never call you. Let them cool down another 3 months. Right?
Well, never give up if you care.
Is that our job, Ajahn, to care just for the sheep?
Yes,
Yeah.
If you
Even
are
though
the shepherd.
they don't like you, even though they hate you, but you care about them. Yeah.
Well, as a shepherd, sometimes the sheep bite you.
Yeah.
Sometimes
But-
you say hi, they walk away. But you say hi again.
Lord, help me.
Well, it's an honor to serve God and to serve the people, but the price is high.
You're right, John. It's sacrifices that we need to make. I know. Sometimes we take all the bad things, and all the worst things that we can dump on us. Yeah. We just be endurance and patient and ask God for forgiveness and
Mhm.
that, and we just continue on.
Yeah, I fight for 20 years. But I win now, thank God. Everything comes smooth now. For 20 years.
I always
Very,
say that
very long.
all of you need to have a thick skin.
Yeah, thank you, Achan. Thank you. You would give an example. I'm very thick skin. That's why I stay here for 20 years. Fight with this.
Yeah, it's all all what we learned from you, John, is that taught us how to be, how to be the servant of God and all the stuff. We take your advice and put into use, and that's how it guides us, and we thank you for all that.
Well, thank you. You see, because I am a pastor too, beside a teacher, I learn from the little thing too. But in the end, we still need to depend on God. We cannot survive without God. And after many years, you will see that you survive this long because God have mercy on you. God is good.
Our little Thai-Lao church lasts for over 30 something years already.
Mm.
And we thank God we're still learning. We still walk, we're still crawling,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, keep going. Okay, you're still thinking that my question to you is, in that 10 advice, which one that you think is the most difficult for you to do? For someone to say sorry. Especially when you feel that you did not make mistake. Why you have to say sorry?
Yeah, I think so. I did that a lot of time too, Ajahn, even though you don't make a mistake.
Mhm.
But you have to say apologize for whatever I did, whatever whatever I offended you, please, forgive me and sorry, But they still, sometimes they still like just stonewall himself.
Mhm.
A lot of those stonewall himself to build up. So it's really hard to deal with some person like that,
Ajahn, one question.
Yes.
A lot of people sometimes I want to know this in protection for in the future. but I see that a lot of people they're facing this problem before, and even though now, some people they have a problem. They're asking each other one or two, three, like earlier Wu asked that about 2 year, 4 year, but even 10 year, they never forgive each other. But they do acting every week. Let the people, this is for the leadership, okay? Let the, the member to see it. Even though the communion day, one side go up there talking or leading, another side is walking and then turning the back to the another side. Later on, the communion time come, but they still receive the communion. Is this a good thing to do that? The member call me, ask me, and then is this a good way? And then they can do that? I don't know, as I have to ask Ajahn.
Well, you see, we are responsible to God. We can act anything we like, but still with God, we need to answer God.
Mm.
So each one of us responsible to God.
But is it still okay? But they still are holding the Bible, go up there and preach.
Well, you see,
Sometimes
God
I'm
is,
talking the same example only.
yeah, for me, I feel that God decide, God is
In
using
purpose.
anyone,
Yeah.
or God will stop using anyone, God decide.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You
Thank
see
you.
that David have many chance to kill Saul. He
Mhm.
won't do it.
Yep.
He said that God anointed him, God take care of him. I won't touch him.
Yeah, one of yeah, I heard some of the pastors same thing, but I don't know where. I don't want to say, okay, maybe from other country. He promoted himself too. He said, I am the God, call me. What I do, you guys cannot touch me. He said out loud inside the church too. Yeah.
He
Only
right in
one-
some way.
Yeah, he said that God only God can touch me. You guys, whatever, just listen to me. That's all. Whatever what I do my job.
Well, he right in some way. You see, Saul become king for many years, and David can kill him anytime, but David won't do it. Until
I
God
heard it. That's in my personal ear, somewhere around out the country. He said, I am the one who God called me. What I did, you guys have no right to say nothing to me. What I want to step down, I step down. I said, I point the finger to you, you have to do what the God's word said. You guys cannot take me out.
Well, he right, but he not humble.
He want to use a little bit power that way.
Yeah,
That's a lot of power.
yeah. Well, you see, even
It is
God,
true, okay? This is true.
yeah, it's true in the sense that God put someone to be leader, and God is the one who take him down. But we don't need to advertise that
Right.
because it's arrogant.
I said, oh, you're so brave. Good.
Ajahn, can you say that kind of attitude is use the name of God in vain?
Well, it can be that way.
Use the power of God in a wrong way.
You look at Moses. Moses in the same situation, but Moses never brag about God appointing him, God protect him, but God really protect Moses, and God take care of anyone who tried to hurt Moses. But Moses did not need to advertise that or brag about that.
Right.
Even his brother and sister,
Yeah,
right? Point finger at him, and guess what? God punished them too.
yeah. God protect Moses. Moses don't need to say a word.
About Joshua's situation,
Yeah,
same thing.
that's the
He
same
draw a
thing.
line.
You see that the real servant of God, you don't need to brag about your power or whatever.
Right.
God know your heart and God know you very well. You got to protect yourself or you want God to protect you? You want to fight yourself or you want God to fight for you?
That's right.
Well, you have God, right? God fight for you.
Yeah.
Then Ajahn talking about the Moses. When the Moses died, did the devil and angel fight each other over the Moses body?
Well, the book of Jude mentioned about that. And in Jewish legend talk about that.
Is it in the
Why?
Bible? That's a question.
Well, they believe that God sent angel to resurrect Moses. So Moses go to heaven alive.
Resurrect? Never heard of that in the Bible. Is it? Where is it?
The book of Jude,
Job.
just one chapter, no, not Job, Jude. It's just one chapter in New Testament. At the end, before Revelation,
What does it say?
they say that when Michael argued with Satan about the body of Moses, and Satan and Michael did not say much. It just said that let God take care of you. So this one chapter of this book is just before the book of Revelation.
What Satan want to do with Moses' body?
Well, they want to keep it that way. Don't want Moses to resurrect. In the Jewish culture, they believe that Michael get command from God to resurrect Moses and take Moses to heaven.
Wow.
So this is why in the book of Revelation, the two witnesses coming down from heaven, they say that possibility, one is Elijah and another one is Moses.
Wow.
Ajahn, what happened to Enoch? Enoch didn't die too, right?
Yeah, Enoch didn't die too. In
Yeah.
the old belief, they think that Enoch and Elijah, who never died.
Right.
But now with the book of Jude, they say that Moses might be the black horse.
But Moses died except that being resurrected.
Yeah, so the Jew believe that Moses was resurrected.
Yeah, but John, to our thinking that because the two person that did not die yet, those two person Enoch and Elijah, those two person has to come down and die again.
Yeah, but because the power that two persons perform, we don't know Enoch can do anything, but Elijah and Moses can do all those things. And another thing, when Jesus transformed his body, the two persons that come to see him is Elijah and Moses, not Enoch.
Huh.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So we don't know exactly though, but a lot of theory, possibility.
I think we believe that God can give Enoch power too, you know. But like you said, when Jesus transformed, he see only what Elijah and Moses. Yeah.
You see, the Bible just tells us something. We don't know everything. And who knows, throughout history, there might be more people who never die and go to heaven.
Just like in the book of, like Thessalonian, that our body which, if God come, our body would change instantly. Maybe that's what happened to Enoch too, right?
Yeah.
Body changed into a new body.
You know that in the Orthodox Church, in the Roman Catholic Church, and the Jewish have more Bible than us. We just have 66 books of the Bible, but for them, they have 100. And if you read all those books, oh, a lot of weird things, a lot of things that you never known.
Ajahn, meaning that we're missing some information, right?
Possible. And we don't mean that those books are bad. A lot of them are good books, but it's just not in our Bible. But I would not recommend you to read, though. You might get confused. So just
Ajahn, did you know
book is
that,
not enough. Yes.
did you know that Jonathan Cain, he's a Jewish rabbi that being converted to Christian, and he preached a lot in the. We listen to him, learn from him a lot regarding Bible, and he is quite knowledgeable because he used to be a Jewish rabbi.
Mm-hmm.
And he really declared Jesus is a Messiah that Jewish been waiting all this time.
Yeah, a big group of Jews convert to Christianity. You see, a group, they call themselves Jew for Jesus, that one group. And now I think there's another group they call, I don't know, but don't forget another group they call themselves a Jewish Christian group. I don't know if they call Messianic Christian or Messianic or something. Okay, you have anything else before we're done for tonight? Okay, if not, let us pray. Loving God, we thank you for tonight. We spend time together to learn a lot of things. I lift up our students before you. Be with them, bless them, protect them, and guide them until we come back again next week. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.